Hello and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report with Hofstra baseball coach John Russo. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Len.
Coach, let's recap a little bit of last week. Obviously not the kind of week you wanted. A 1-3 week with a non-conference loss to Monmouth and then losing 2 out of 3 to Northeastern. Really an odd sort of week for the team. Really, the beginning of the season, the pitching staff had been performing really well, and the offense was kind of lagging behind. This past week, you get good offensive production, maybe not so much with the runs in all the games, but hit-wise, a lot of opportunities. But the pitching staff obviously didn't perform well enough to get those wins. What are your thoughts on the week that was?
Well, I thought the Monmouth game will start there. We blew that late. 2 bad relief of performances in the 8th and 9th inning. Opened up a really good game. I think it was 5-4 before we gave up the 9 runs in the 8th inning. It kind of was a pre-teller of the weekend, I think, with the pitching. And, we lost David Jesh. We tried to start him on Friday. His arm strain came back. So you only logged 2 innings from David. You go to Rico on Saturday. He logs 3 1/3 or 3 2/3 innings. And then you have Nick, who goes on Sunday, and he only logs 5. And that was a problem a little bit early on with the starters not logging enough innings. And, between the 3 of them, they logged 11 innings. And, the course of 27 innings, you can't have your bullpen throw 16 innings on a weekend and expect to win. And you're going to expose it, and it got exposed. And, we were really lucky, to be honest, to come away with the one win we did. We had the lead. We were behind 26 of 27 innings this weekend. The only inning we had the lead was Kenny's 8th inning home run on Saturday, and we held on in the 9th. And you can't win baseball games that way.
Now, you mentioned Dave DeRico only going 3 1/3 in his start on Saturday. His line probably looked worse than what it really was.
Agreed.
A lot of dunks and bloops. Bloop double that didn't get more than 30 feet past second base. And a few bleeders that went through. So, David probably didn't pitch as well, didn't pitch as bad as his line suggested, but obviously the team was able to rally twice, come back, and then Kenny Jackson, who had a really good week offensively, seems to be turning around, comes through with an 8th inning 2-run home run that breaks an 8-8 tie, gives you a 10-8 win. So you have to be happy with the way the bats have been swinging, especially Kenny lately.
Well, Northeastern had the number 1 pitching staff in the league coming in, and I thought offensively it was as good a weekend as we've had all year. And Northeastern's coaches were very complimentary of us, saying that they thought we were the best offensive team they've seen this year. But I said, well, listen, if you would have talked to JMU Delaware, I would think they would disagree, because we've really struggled against some teams. But we did come offensively prepared this weekend, and I hated DeRico's performance. It wasn't as bad, but when we were in a must-win situation like that, I had to go to Schreiber. We were down 4 runs when I went to Brett, but we knew the significance of having to win that game. And I think Brett was able to hold them right there at 8 runs or what it was, and the team made a great comeback, and Kenny really clutched it off. We needed that hit and had to have it. It was right after having a guy thrown out at the plate, so we hadn't had that big hit, and Kenny came through with it. And even on Sunday, we had 11 hits and just weren't able to get the big one to get runs in. But I know this. In this league, you've got to win with pitching and defense. And I didn't think we played great defense the whole weekend. We definitely didn't pitch well. And to be honest, we got what we deserved.
Another player had a good offensive week and earned his first conference award. Brad Witkowski, the freshman, been really playing him all over the infield lately. He's kind of found a niche at second base the last week or so, 2 weeks or so. Hit over 500 for the week, a few RBIs, double. CAA co-rookie of the week this week. What do you see in Brad, and how good is his ceiling?
Brad was the guy that I thought would play shortstop as a freshman when he came in, except for Rulo got injured, so that set that back some. And then you had Matt got injured, and so there wasn't really a great spot for Brad to play. And early on, we moved him right field, a little bit of playing time at third, but then David Lederman started hitting so well, and so Brad just had a tough time getting the lineup. I don't think any of us are super surprised by his talent, but I got to do something with Brad that I don't get the chance to do much. We got to develop him a little bit and make him a little tougher. His wrist was hurting early on in the year, but now he's at full health. And we we all have a lot of confidence in Brad, but more importantly, I think Brad has a lot of confidence in himself. And, I like the way Brad carries himself. I like the way Brad goes about his business. I like that he hits in tough situations. And, we all think that Brad's going to be a great player, but more importantly, I think Brad thinks he's going to be a really good player, and I think that's really important.
All right, let's turn our attention to this week. Non-conference game tomorrow night in Staten Island against Wagner College, and then a big weekend series against College of Charleston. Final home Colonial Athletic Association series. Obviously, the way the standings are right now, probably need a few wins to maybe move back into playoff contention. What are your thoughts on the week ahead?
I'm super excited about tomorrow's game. Jim at Wagner's a great guy. He's got a good team. Really turning it around. It's his second year there, I believe. But getting the opportunity to play at the Staten Island Yankees minor league park, I think, is a great experience for the kids. To be honest, I'd love to play them there every year because I just like to be able to chance to go there. I think the kids will remember it. They're super excited. It's a night game, 6 o'clock. We haven't, gotten to do that midweek yet, and so there's a little bit of excitement for tomorrow's game for sure. And it's always fun just to play a midweek game. We've gotten rained out or snowed out or colded out of so many. To be able to just play during midweek is great. And then, we left ourselves a tough task this weekend. College of Charleston is, in second place, I believe, right now, and they're as good a team as there is in the league. They've got great pitching, really led by some young pitching that have put up great numbers. Matter of fact, I think their pitching ERA just took over Northeastern for number 1 in the league, and their offense is probably one of the better offenses in the league. And it's all going to start on the hill for us. We're going to go with Kaz back on Friday night. It just hasn't worked out on Sunday, but to be honest, he's our best guy. And we got to get a win from him, or at least a great performance on him on Friday. We'll stay with David on Saturday, and then, maybe McDonald on Sunday. I'm not sure, but, we're really thin right now. We've got some arm injuries with Jesh, and Eisenberg isn't up to par right now with his arm, and, we're just got to figure out a way to do it. Last year, we were a little bit in this same boat. Unlike you, I think we need at least 2 wins to get to 8. I think 8 would be a good, strong number to give us a good chance to get into the tournament. But, you got to win them one at a time, so we got to win one and then figure out how to win the next one. We haven't done that at home yet either. We haven't won a series at home, and, we have a lot of work to do this week.
Well, Coach, wish you luck, and it all starts tomorrow at Wagner, and then this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, home at University Field versus College of Charleston. You've been watching the WB Mason Coach Report on GoHofstra.com. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.